Hello everyone and welcome back to yet again another match review. This time Leeds went to St James's Park and drew 1-1 with Newcastle United. Before we get into it though, please do remember to like the video, subscribe and leave a comment. It's all free, it doesn't cost you a thing, you can always unsubscribe a bit later on. And you'll be doing me a massive favour, so I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. But let's get on with the review. So the starting lineup to start off with. Matthijs Klich was back in the team, back in the starting lineup, and I always feel a bit more at ease about the midfield when Klich is playing. He doesn't mind putting a shift in, he doesn't mind putting a tackle in. So to see him back made me happy. It was good to see him back. And he started off very well considering he did have COVID. He didn't look tired, he put a decent shift in. Rodrigo was playing in the centre attacking mid role again. So many people have not been a fan, but today, credit where credit is due. He wasn't awful today. He did a decent job. He got around. He had a few chances, and credit to him for Rafinha's goal as well. Most people would have tried to get a touch on that ball in to put it into the net themselves, but no, he just let it go and it went in. So fair play to him. Another makeshift defence though. Stuart Dallas moving to right back because Ayling moved into centre back. Liam Cooper was there because realistically we didn't have another option. And Junior Firpo at left back as well, who I am really enjoying. He is growing into his time at Leeds a lot more now. He's starting to get that match fitness. He's understanding the way that we play. He loves to get forward as well. You always see when the centre backs have the ball, he is always moving forward. He's cutting inside as well, which is great. Liam Cooper, I was scared about him. I feel like St Maximin was targeting him because he knew he'd have the beating of him every day of the week. And to be fair, he did, because we know what Cooper's like. He is a very push and pull centre back. He could have dragged him over at some point and given away a penalty, and I wouldn't have been surprised, if I'm honest. Dan James was looking sharp. Considering he's only been in training with Leeds for about a week and a bit, 2 weeks maximum, he's looking sharp. I'm enjoying him. He's starting to understand, along with Junior Firpo, how Leeds play. I don't think it's going to take him long to adapt because he loves the 1v1s, he loves the getting forward. He doesn't mind tracking back as well, which is good to see. He did get subbed off today, but that's probably just because he's not 100% Bielsa fit yet. And again, to give credit where credit's due, Tyler Roberts came on and again did a pretty decent job. He was playing out wide this time instead of down the middle. He offered something a little different. He wasn't afraid to attack people and try and take them on. His final product is still a bit under par. His balls into the box, his shots himself are still a bit under par, but he is only 22, so it's going to come with time, I think. It's going to stick with him, and I feel like he will come good by the end of this season, into next season, when he matures a bit. And of course, we had the debut of Crescencio Somerville, something that's been long coming, something that everyone's wanted to see. There wasn't a lot for him to do in the time that he had, but it was good to see the stuff that he was doing in the under-23s as well. He was going to take on players. He was getting some skills out. He wasn't afraid. He didn't seem nervous at all, which for, I think he's 19, for a 19-year-old making your Premier League debut in a big stadium like St James's Park, that could be a bit daunting. But he didn't seem scared at all, and that's what we want to see. And he may have a few more chances coming up with Jack Harrison out with COVID, which I'll go into a bit later. But to talk about the actual game now, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. We needed to take the chances that we had in the first half when we were on top. Once we got our goal, whether it was meant to go in or not, we got the early goal. We had so many chances. We were dominating the game. We should have put it to bed in the first half. How St Maximin got through for his goal baffles me. He absolutely sold Firpo and Phillips with the fake shot. And then he took his chance, but I think someone should have got a block to it or taken the ball off of him. and conceding just before half time, I think it was the 43rd minute. It was the worst thing that could have happened, because then the momentum is all with them going into the break. And their goal got them back in the game. It gave them so much confidence. Second half was very end to end. We had a fair few chances in the second half as well. They had a good few chances that Meslier did well to stop. There was one that Bamford was through on. He should have taken it. It was on his weak foot, which is, I guess, if you're making excuses, but you're in the Premier League, you have a chance to score, you needed to take it. He just put it straight at the keeper. I think that goal would have killed the game, because we would have gone on to keep scoring. That would have deflated them. The crowd would have turned against them, which they started to do after our first goal. And that would have been the game done, I think. But we're just not clinical enough. It's almost like there's shades of the Championship Leeds coming out again, where we have so many chances, but we just can't take them. And realistically, our goal today was a cross that went in. It wasn't a shot. I'm sure Rafinha will say differently, but it wasn't a shot. It was a ball into the box, meant for Rodrigo running in, but he left it and it just went in. Let's talk a bit about injuries, shall we? There was a worry before the game that Rafinha wasn't going to play because he had a bit of a knock. He got subbed off as a bit of a precaution, I guess, but I don't know if that's anything to do with the injury. Maybe it's just to protect him. I don't know if he's aggravated it a little bit. We'll see if he's in the squad on Tuesday against Fulham, but we'll need him against West Ham next weekend. 100% we'll need him against West Ham. We also seem to have a bit of a curse at centre-back, don't we? Robin Koch has been out. Diego Llorente is out injured. Pascal Struijk is sent off. Luke Ayling steps in at centre-back, and now he's injured. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. I don't think anything's been said about the injury yet, but hopefully it's not a long one. We need people to play centre-back. That's the fourth centre-back that we have out now. 3 to injury, 1 to suspension. I guess against Fulham it'll be Charlie Creswell and Liam Cooper, because we don't have a hell of a lot of other options. Jack Harrison is out with COVID, we discovered before the game. It was good to give Dan James a chance to play. Realistically, he wouldn't have started if Harrison was ready to play, if he was allowed to play. But Dan James does give something different to Harrison. I think Harrison's final ball into the box is better, but Dan James has that explosiveness. And speaking of Dan James, we had the penalty claim in the first half that we should have been given a penalty for. He cut inside, he touched the ball away, and their defender just completely body checked him. No attempt to play the ball whatsoever. I know there's this whole thing about letting the game flow, but that was a stonewall penalty. I have no idea how VAR checked that, if they checked it at all, and said, yeah, that's fine, no penalty there. It was as blatant of a penalty as you can see, and I think that would have killed the game off. Again, 2-0 going into half-time. They wouldn't have had a chance. But yeah, I think on Tuesday against Fulham in the Cup, it will be Dan James on the left and Somerville on the right. He's not going to want to risk Rafinha if he's injured. Harrison's out already. Tyler Roberts could play out wide again, like he did today. But I think he'll give Somerville a proper go. And Dan James, he'll want to get match fitness. But I'm looking forward to that, because I will be there, as it is a London away game. I managed to get a ticket. I'll be hopping on the train and going to watch us hopefully win in London and hopefully win in a cup, both of which we are not too good at. Hopefully I've not jinxed it, because I would love a cup run this year. The game seemed really hard work for the guys in the second half. I don't know whether they made it harder for themselves or whether Newcastle did a decent job in stopping us from playing. But Newcastle, they are a club that are ridiculously underperforming as well. They are a big club. They should be doing better. They shouldn't be hanging around the relegation zone at all. They're a club that should be mid-table, higher in the mid-table part of the league as well. But with Steve Bruce there, they're not going to go anywhere. They need to get rid of Steve Bruce. The players that they have and the fans that they have, the size of the club, they deserve to be doing better than this. Years ago, this draw against Newcastle would have been a good result. But the Newcastle that are currently in the Premier League, we should be beating them. If we already had a win this season, I don't think a draw would seem like an awful result. It's just because we're dying for that first win of the season. 1 point is better than none, but we should have had all 3. West Ham are up next, which is going to be, of course, a tough game. I think Antonio is back from suspension for our game, which I'm sure he'll target Liam Cooper as well. It's going to be a big handful. He's a strong player. And they have just got a decent squad. They've been good under Moyes. They're in the Europa League. We're just in a poor run of form and it's not clicking up front for us. I'm sure it will. Bamford with another assist. Still yet to score, but it's going to come. It's coming. We move on. Hopefully we start taking our chances more often. I've got 100% faith in Bielsa and the players. It's going to happen soon. We're going to get the win. Hopefully we'll get the win in the Cup on Tuesday. And that momentum will push us on. And we'll beat West Ham next weekend. I am confident. So thanks everyone for watching this match review. Please do like the video and subscribe. Leave your comments with your thoughts on the game. And I'll see you in the next video.